Without further ado, let's introduce Jonathan England. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Glad to have you.
Good to see you again, Rebecca. How's it?
Yeah,
How's it
good to
been?
see you again.
Yes. Rebecca was just down here at our village, what, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, Earthwaking's on the Ecovillage tour that Cynthia puts together, and I was able to go see the property and meet everyone. And Jonathan and Melinda took me on a great tour of the community, and they're really kicking booty down there. So lots of good food production and tons of different housing structures have been built out. There's even a pool
There you
Yeah,
go.
nice.
in a fitness center. I was like, Ryan would love this.
Debbie's filming it. We're not here to feel happy. We're here to feel fully.
Yeah, that's one of those
All right,
little
well,
blocks. So, like what you're
yeah,
talking
take
about,
it away
John.
for maybe a good 10,
Like,
20 minutes. We'll hear what you got going on down there.
yeah, always those little nuggets, they just come out of me that you're talking about. So they kind of they stick around here. They'll stick in your mind and it'll just pop up in a perfect moment. The thing will just pop out like, oh yeah. So yeah, we're not
I
here to
love
feel
it.
happy, feel full of it. I want to play a little video, like a little 2 minute video of our village. All right, cool. I'm gonna play a quick video of our village. So we got two villages. This is our first one, the one that's completely developed, and then we got another one that's 10 times the size that we're starting to work on now. But I'll show you the first video. Yeah, so that's our village and that's our people. And we just have a blast. We're like living the life that we all knew we were supposed to live, but it just didn't seem possible. Has anybody else ever felt like there's got to be a better way? You grew up in a world that feel like you got dropped off on the wrong planet. Like, what is wrong with all these people? There's got to be something different. But you just keep seeking and you just can't find anything. And then so I looked and how originally the vision started for me around these villages was because I got really into personal development, like going to like Tony Robbins events. Anybody ever been to a Tony Robbins event? Not a lot. There's not a lot of people. What, do you guys don't like Tony Robbins? Like, okay, there you go. Yeah. So he's got an event called Date with Destiny, and I've invested over $500,000 in personal development. I just like really got engaged in that kind of stuff because my first personal development, I was a broke, ignorant, blackout, drunk, atheist beach bum. And there was a little Italian guy popped up on an infomercial. His name was Dean Graziosi. And he's like, have you ever in your adult life felt like you should be further along than you are right now? I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, if I could give you this thing, would you that would change your life. You want that thing? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, give me all your money and I'll give you the thing. I'm like, I don't have any money. But I came up with the money and I signed up for his program. It was no money, no credit real estate investing. I qualified because I didn't have any money or credit, but I found the money, signed up for his program, and then made, within my first 18 months, made 400 grand within 2 years, built a multi-million-dollar empire. And so now I'm like, okay, I found something that works at personal development, like going to people who actually have what you want instead of talking to the people who don't have what you want and asking them how to get it. Go to the ones that have the ones that have it, and they can share you the recipe. So I paid for the recipe, and then I got hooked on personal development, paying for recipes basically. But when I found Tony Robbins, man, I was like, it was awesome. And I went to his event. I think it was like $5,000 or something for his Date with Destiny event. I went to it multiple times, but when I would go there, everyone's just so inspired and so, got visions and dreams and goals. And everybody's like, yeah, dude, like, how can I help you? Well, yeah, that's awesome. And they're all inspired about your inspiration. But then the event's over after like 6 days, and then you got to go back. You're like, well, I don't want to go back. I want to stay here with these people, but you can't. There's nowhere to stay. We're in a hotel room. And so you got to go back to where you came from. And I go back to where I came from. And I'm like, all right, guys, I'm inspired. I got this vision. And people are like, you're stupid. You're an idiot. You just face reality, man. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't want to go back to this world anymore. And so I was looking for a place where I could be around people that were inspiring, and full of gratitude and have visions and dreams and goals. And it didn't exist. I couldn't find it anywhere. So like, that's how it started for me, is like, I'm going to create it then. And so, and then I met my wife, Mel. I created my own personal development event. It was just a little class. It was called Awaken Your Destiny. And my wife, Mel, showed up. She's on here too. Everybody say, hey, Mel. She's Melinda Love right there. But so she showed up to my event. It was called Awaken Your Destiny. It was a goal setting workshop. And she was setting some goals and everything. And then we just connected, and I've been connected ever since, because I was like, hey, what's your dream? What's your vision? What's your goal? And she's like, I don't know. I don't really have like a purpose or a vision. I don't know. And I'm like, come on now, you got something in there. It's in there. You just numbed it out. What is it? And she's like, well, I've always like had this daydream when I would be working as a dental hygienist, that I'd see myself like sitting at a bonfire, like we're doing a drum circle, and it's like all the people around, and we're like a family. And then, I see my little son running around naked in the jungle, and she had this vision, and I'm like, hey, well, that's my vision too. That's where I'm going. I'm heading home. That's my home. This place that I grew up in, this ain't my home. That's my home. And would you like to just hold hands and walk together? And she's like, yeah, let's do that. And so that's what we did. And then we birthed this baby together, and people just kept jumping on board. And we did it. And we birthed the first one. I always knew this first one was the prototype. And then we're going to expand these all over the world. But we got the first one, prototyped it, fully functioning in our dysfunction. And then we, expanding, doing our second one and our third one on the horizon. And then we've got multiple ones. Again, it's going to go across the whole planet. But a couple of things that I want to say that's very, very important. John just said one of my little phrases that I say all the time, and it's important, is wherever you go, there you are. No matter where you go, there you are. And I noticed that because we came here to Costa Rica. We all got called down here to Costa Rica, but there's a lot of people getting called to Costa Rica right now for this specific vision. And what the vision is there has to be a better way. Like, we've all got this is not working, especially when you got Klaus and friends all doing their weird agendas and all that crazy conspiracy facts, conspiracy reality that they're actually doing and not hiding. Well, now you either go build your dream or you live your nightmare. There's no more sitting the fence. And so I noticed that there's like Costa Rica is a place that's calling. It's like, please birth the new earth here. It wants it to happen here. There's this, this energy here. And it's like, we didn't start as life on the moon or on Mars. We started here on Earth because we got all the food and the water, and it's abundant. If we would have started on the moon, we wouldn't have survived. So Costa Rica is like that. Like, Costa Rica is the Garden of Eden. Like, Earth is Eden. Costa Rica is the Garden of Eden. 5% of the biodiversity on the planet is in this little bitty place called Costa Rica. So we got everything you could possibly need here. And it's, you eat an orange and a seed falls out of your mouth in the ground. And 2 days later, you got an orange tree growing. So it's just really wild. And there's never, it is never winter. It's always perfect temperature. I didn't even know that was possible. And so it just such an easy place to thrive. You don't have to work hard. You don't have to build anything to thrive. You could just pitch a tent, especially on our, our 50-acre property. You can literally throw up a tent over there and just be in the happiest you've ever been because it's perfect temperature. But so wherever you go, there you are. There's a lot of people been coming here to Costa Rica, building communities, and they just crumble. They're just crumbling like crazy because the people are thinking if they can just get to heaven on earth, then they're going to be in heaven on earth. But you can't be in heaven on earth until heaven on earth, heaven is in you. There's a Bible verse that says, seek first the kingdom and all else will be added to you. And the kingdom of God is within you. And so you got to get to the kingdom first. And then from the kingdom, you can actually step into it on the outside. It appears without, though it is within. So wherever you go, there you are. Birthing this new earth is an inside job. You got to do the work on the inside. And John was talking about how our people are all like cheerful. Well, the reason that we're so cheerful is because you face it within or you face it without. You face it by chance or you face it by choice. Either way, you're going to face it. Face what? Your fears, your lies, your judgments, your dysfunction. And so we got a game here called dysfunction, where we put the fun in dysfunction. We face our dysfunction by choice and we have fun with it. We play games and like deal with it. Because if there's any dysfunction in any of us, because remember, it appears without, though it is within. There's any dysfunction in any of us, it's in all of us to some degree. So we all do the breakthroughs together. And when we choose the time, the most successful generals choose the time and the place for the battle. So we choose the time and the place for the battle of our dysfunction. We do it at our breakfast table every morning and get the work done. So then that's the time to do it. And then we come out here and we actually get to function beautifully. And we're a whole lot different. Like we're a different group than the rest of the majority of humanity. And you can notice it by here our community. This is our family that we're just here together in this group. Look at all of it. The majority of the people who have their cameras on right now, guess who they are? They're our people, because we've dealt with our inner work so that we're ready to rise and shine, and we're leaders showing the way for the rest of humanity. Come on home. You can do this. We could do this. We could do this. So I just spoke a lot. That just all came out. I didn't know I was going to do that. I didn't know I was going to say that stuff, but that's just kind of what happens, how I roll. I don't ever know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to say, and I just get out of the way. That's my one job, stay out of the way. So hopefully that was important to someone. So hopefully someone got something out of that. And we got an event coming up on Tuesday. If you're like, hey, I want to check out this y'all's village, I want to check out this, what y'all are doing. The event specifically, it's if you're wanting to check out our village or if you're wanting to birth your own village. It's a 2-hour event. It's free. Just go to offgriddreamlife.com and you can register for it and come hang out on Tuesday and enjoy the journey. It's a journey of a lifetime. You could find yourself in heaven on earth before you, way faster and easier than you ever could have possibly imagined, because you were at the right place at the right time and you said yes to your dream. So with that, anybody have any questions?
Good stuff. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, check out the webinar, and they're going to share more about the community, which seems like an incredible opportunity for folks to tap into a pre-existing community. I'd never seen that video before. I'd seen pictures of y'all's community, but I'm like, wow, I see that and I'm inspired. And like, if Jonathan can do it, we can do it. So, but he's already done it, and you can come down there and be a part of it. So learn more in the webinar. And as he shared, if you're looking to do community, build a community, whatever, I mean, just the way the guy communicates, there's all these little, just very inspirational, insightful, lots of wisdom. So let me ask you this. There's a couple people that are asking because, you don't have no shame or hide the fact that you are a Christian and you believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ. And some people were asking, do we have to be a Christian to be part of the community? Can you kind of clarify? Because when I've listened to your teachings and stuff, it doesn't sound like the church that my mom would drag me to when I was younger. That's for sure. What role does Christianity play in your life and in the community? The ministry. You want to break that down for us?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it Christian because I think one of our people said, or that was in the other group, but Jesus wasn't a Christian. Buddha wasn't a Buddhist. Jesus wasn't a Christian. Jesus was a Jew. So, but Jesus is he's the king of my heart. He's the one that guides and directs me on every single thing that I do. But I was actually given a mission January 25th, 2015. God came and asked for my life, and I was like, well, what are you going to do with it? He didn't tell me. So then I had to decide either yes or no without knowing what I'm saying yes to. I chose to say yes. Right afterwards, then I was given, okay, here's what your life is going to be used for on this planet for the rest of the time that you're here. Reinvent the educational system, reinvent the monetary system, and unite religions. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Unite religions, like smash them all together and turn them into one? He's like, no, I created them all. Why would I want to get rid of them? He's like, just think of religions. There's like Mexican food, Italian food, New Orleans food, which is kind of just smashing them all together. But there's all these different types of food, but the purpose is the nutrients in them. And he says, I just want them to remember that I'm the head. They kicked me out. They're using a lot of the religion, like even religious people talk about, even if you go to church, they're dogging on religion. And a lot of them are religious while they're dogging on religion. But regardless, like the Bible says the dead letter killeth. So it's not about the words, it's about what the words are pointing to. And I don't care where you came from. I don't even care where you are. There's a thing that I always say, stop hanging out with people who share a common past and start hanging out with people who share a common future. And so, we've got an event called the Remember Experience, where I make an offer at the end, and my offer is to make Jesus your Lord and Savior. And I used to judge the crap out of that because, again, I was an evangelist atheist for 20 years. It was my job to convince people God doesn't exist. And so imagine my surprise. Here I am. My pitch at the end of an event is, make Jesus the king of your heart. And there's a lady, she's on here right now, who I've made that offer 3 times while she was standing there, and she did not take my offer. There she is, Acro Rose right there. She lives here at the village, and she didn't even take my offer. She rejects my offer 3 times, and she still lives here at the village, and it's not weird or anything. So again, there's all these different beautiful, like, I really love like all the different religions. I really love Hinduism. I love all the different gods and everything that they, the beauty of it. I like, it's Noelle, she was sharing in one of the other groups earlier about, here in Costa Rica, there's these indigenous tribes, and they've all got these visions happening right now. It's like all these visions are coming together, and it's just, it's just time for us to unite. So yeah, it's not weird at all if you're not digging the Jesus vibe. I can't promise you that you won't be digging Jesus after you hang out for a little while. You most likely will, but it's not going to be pushed. An egg broken from the outside in means death. From the inside out means life. It won't be pushed from the outside in. It'll just start growing inside of you probably, and you'll just see the fruits and the miracles that surround when you just allow your heart to open up and receive a love like that, an unconditional love.
Right on. Oh, what am I doing? Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me add my spotlight here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. I resonate with all of that. And, unfortunately, religion and just religion, mostly religion as opposed to spirituality, is really cause a lot of pain and trauma. And it's got this like inverted perversion that's taken place, which has gone away from what a lot of the original teachings were. And like man got involved and jacked everything up and used it to control rather than liberate. And that's unfortunate, but appreciate you and how passionate you are. And it seems like you found your calling. And regardless of what people have to say about Jesus Christ or Christianity or religion, this or that, I see that God is working through you. And it sounds like it doesn't sound like, I see that you're doing incredible work in the world. So I think there's something to say for that, especially. Cool. So if anybody
can I do one more phrase? Because you just inspired me with one more
let's
phrase.
hit it. What do you got? This is a writer downer.
Yeah. Don't ask God to bless what you're doing. Ask what God is already blessing and do that, and what you're doing will be blessed. So that's why like I'm pretty much walking on water here, is because I didn't decide what I'm going to do and say, God bless this. I said, God, what are you blessing? And he told me, and then I just said, okay, not my will but thine be done. I did that, and then everything is working beautifully because it's blessed by God.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions? Any other questions about the community, about the webinar or anything? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
I would just say too, when I visited, I was just so blown away. I was like, I need to get my camera out and record this. So I walked around. I think the video is 45 minutes, maybe 50 minutes on John's YouTube or my YouTube. We could put the link. If you want to see what earthwaking looks like and get an inside look, Melinda and Jonathan showed me around. I got to see the chicken coop, and they have a very impressive operation, lots of food production, really inspiring, all the beauty that's been created. And when did you acquire that property? It was like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Just a little over 2 years ago, January 2 years ago. So 2 years and a couple months.
Wow. In such
Wow.
a short amount of time.
Holy
Like, it's
wow.
really inspiring.
We've had our
to
property
see.
the same amount of time.
Yeah.
We got a chicken coop. We got about 15 garden beds and 3 RV spots and a solar system. So wow.
And
And
you
the
got,
pecan orchard. But
and-
it's
well,
not
the
a
pecan orchard was there.
competition. But no, I mean, it's like, wow, I couldn't believe how
Yeah,
much
it's
food
like
you were
all
growing. It
developed
inspired
out.
me to really get our
Part
garden
2.
going. Is like John was saying, it's like you get so overwhelmed with the property. It's like there's so much to do, but you have so many people there to help and to make this happen. And it's like you have
Come on.
25 residents are living there right now, right? That's amazing.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
than that.
25
I mean,
permanent residents, ranging
Yeah.
anywhere from we got two years old all the way to in their 70s. Every decade we have people, at least a couple people here that are in.
Yeah, and to
10,
see you had
20.
like the laundry room area, you had the space for the kitchen, and to see how all the food is cooked and prepared and everyone eats together, and the around the table, everyone conversing in the morning. I mean, it was a really good experience. And I just want to thank you for inviting me to visit. But if you're like, what is it like? I would like to see what earthwaking looks like, aside from the video, that Jonathan shared at the beginning, a really, behind the scenes look, what all the homes look like inside. I mean, we went into one of is it an 8-plex? We saw the compost toilet area. We saw the really high end, beautiful views of the rolling mountains. And it's a kind of cool just to see, how much you guys have created and built out in such a short amount of time. And people always say, oh, we need all this acreage. We need all this acreage. The property you guys are on with 25 full-time residents is 5 acres, right?
Yeah, this first one was only 5 acres. I thought there's no way we could do it on 5 acres, but we did. And I'm so glad that we did with 5 acres. So everybody easily make it to the
and there's
community
nature
center.
everywhere too. It doesn't feel packed them and stacked them like some of these neighborhoods. It was very beautiful how you worked with the land and the topography to kind of like build into the hill, like you were saying. But anyway, John's gonna put the link if you want to check that out.
Yeah, I shared the video, and you got your whole crew. I like how you bring a crew.
Yeah,
I need to swarm with the crew too.
Got the entourage.
All right, cool. Michelle has a question, and then worry not, folks. Stick with us. We're going to go finish those introductions so everybody has an opportunity to share and introduce themselves, and then we'll take Michelle's question. I presume it's about it's a question for Jonathan, and then Jonathan, if you'll hang out in the chat, and you got the whole crew there answering questions and all sorts of stuff, so they'll stick around till the end if you guys have questions. But let's hear from Michelle. What do you have there for Mr. Jonathan?
Oh yeah, I'm just wondering, do people buy houses, or what's the how does the housing work out?
Yeah, so
How do you get
everything
into the community?
Yeah, everything that we do is built, it's under the umbrella of a 508c1a nonprofit organization. So that we bought the properties, we created a Costa Rica corporation to purchase the property, but it's just a holding company. It doesn't do anything except for hold it. So it interacts with the government just to hold it, but then it transferred all of its rights and everything over to the 508. And so we actually have our own sovereign food, water, shelter, energy, community, and currency. So you move out of the matrix into the new earth. So you'll make a donation to our nonprofit. As a side effect of your donation, you receive our currency, and then you use our currency to purchase your home. You can either, like here at this first one, homes for you that you could purchase, or over on the next property, you can purchase lots over there. And yeah.
Heck yeah. But
you'll be purchasing it with our current. You're making a donation into the new earth, and then you receive our currency. You purchase it with our currency. You purchase. We don't call it ownership. We call it stewardship, because you don't own your mother. That's kind of weird, so we look at it differently here. And you're not separating it out, because what makes us as you can see, all of our people here, like what makes us so powerful is the unity in our community. And so we're all together. You're not out there like on your own having to deal with your own stuff and bills and all that stuff. It's all under one umbrella, and we're interdependent, and it's just a beautiful experience to have a family.
Awesome.
And
Do you
when
have
people
to
buy in-
apply?
Yeah. So what, like, if you come to the OffGrid Dream Life event on Tuesday, we got a lot of like filtration on the front end. I'm just a raw, real dude, and so if people can chill, it can be on a event with me for 2 hours, when I'm letting it rip like that, and they're still sticking around, and then I'm like, hey, y'all can come on down and visit. I'll give an opportunity to come down and visit, and then you'll
Okay.
come visit for like a week, and then feel it out. And if you're still like, hey, well, this is really awesome, and we're still like, hey, this is really awesome, then we can start moving forward like that.
Okay, thank
Cool.
you.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Great questions, Michelle. Wow. So cool. I think Rebecca and I have a lot. You're not gonna be able to recruit us to move down to Costa Rica, but we definitely do want to come visit. But we do have a lot to learn from you. So check out the webinar, whether you're considering moving down there as an option or whether you want to learn from someone that's really done it. And it's not just like we got 5 acres and we have 25 people living here. As you heard, they're like have entirely new systems. So it really embodies everything that we're doing with exit and build. So really honored for you to be a part of the community and appreciate what you're doing.
I wouldn't mind retiring in Costa Rica.
When me and Becca get in a tiff, she jokingly, I hope it's a joke. She's like, I'm just going to pack up and go to Costa Rica. So
So when I actually went to Costa Rica in January, John was like, "Is she coming back?" I just stay at Earthwaking forever.
it's funny because it's true. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Y'all
Thanks.
come visit
There.
whenever. You're welcome. Come visit. We like
Both go. How about that?
yeah.
There you go.
Y'all come on
All right.
down.
All right. Appreciate you, Jonathan.